Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We do have a Heart of the Swarm beta game. It is from TLO's Razor Replay Pack of the Week. It is the first Team Liquid replay pack which has actually come from Heart of the Swarm. So while their players have been putting a lot of time and effort into it, we haven't actually seen much of it yet from them directly. Admittedly, I've cast quite a few of them with the ESET UK Masters, but we have got to wait and see what TLO's got in store for us. So he is playing as the red Zerg in the lower right position, and his opponent in the top left, the blue Zerg player from Team Evil Geniuses. We do have IdrA, and yeah. So TLO apparently wanting to play with the new replay thingy with IdrA, which I can't blame him. I know that IdrA's been doing a lot of practice with IdrA, for example, and they've just been messing around and having a bit of fun. The pros just want to have some solid play against someone they know isn't going to just flat out cheese them, because ultimately there's still people who will do that. If you're up against someone like TLO and you're not a named person, you don't often play them, you might be like, hey, let's just get a win because that will be cool. Now, in terms of what they're going to be doing, ZvZ early game hasn't changed much at all. It's still essentially the same strategies, the same Ling Bling wars that we know and love and players hate, but what has changed quite significantly is the mid game. Roach Hydra is probably the best composition, if not it's a muter style. 2-base muters are incredibly strong. I'm not sure if this is on balance patch 13 or not, so therefore I'm a bit uncertain as to whether the spore callers do bonus damage to bio or not, but if it is, we'll see should muters come about. But for the moment, these two just choosing to both get their natural expansions down fairly quickly, so it is a hatch first from both players, and that just means their economy is going to be good. Akalon Wastes is a large map, and the important thing about it being a large map is simply that to get across it takes a long period of time, even with Zerglings or Speedlings, and therefore going for a pull first isn't really beneficial, and it's unlikely that these two were going to 6-pull each other on the ladder. So, gas coming down now for both players. It was a pull, then gas from both of them, I do believe, and therefore they should get speed up. What we're checking to really keep an eye out for is whether they keep all 3 drones in the gas, whether they just get 100 gas, then pull them all out for speed, when the Baning Nest timing comes out, etc. But muter play is what I wanted to touch on a bit more before we go any further. Muters, the reason they're so strong in ZvZ at the moment is it's really quite simple to get up to a critical mass of them, and due to their increased health regeneration, they are really good at harassing, and once you get up to, I'm talking like 20-30 muters, which is really doable actually, you end up being able to just full on attack your opponent, and if they don't have their own muters, it can be difficult to deal with. And this map does have a lot of dead space around the main. It has quite a bit of a nice entrance into the natural as well, and obviously the 3rd or 4th base are really exposed, so muters are quite likely. Roach Hydra though does have a window of opportunity. The Hydras can deal with lower numbers of mutalisks, and the same problem arises from going muter. If your opponent just decides to come and kill you, you may have a few problems, but it's too early to really predict what they're going to do. Everything is pretty much viable, and therefore it comes down a bit to personal preference, what they feel like doing, what they feel this map will offer most to. But currently we've just got the speed coming down for both players, 3 drones left in gas for both of them as well, so they will be getting quick banings out. TLO's Overlords are getting pushed away, IdrA's Overlords are also getting pushed away. The Baning Nest now coming down for IdrA, and this is very reminiscent of everything we should be expecting. Nothing has super changed. The Spine Crawler also coming down here for IdrA, just in order to be defensive. No Spine Crawler yet for TLO though, so we'll wait to see if that comes out, but that just means that TLO takes a tiny little advantage in the work account for a couple of seconds. It's nothing that important, but these tiny little things at this level of play are what ultimately could decide the game, because if you get a few little, well, basically a few little advances, a few little better positionings, then actually they snowball throughout the game and get you further and further ahead. So IdrA, he's just going up to 3 gas straight away, getting them 2 with the natural as well, and that just means the TLO, if he's Zergling scouts, doesn't actually know whether it's 3 or 4 gas, and that's quite awkward. But meanwhile, IdrA has managed to make it into TLO's base. Did he see the all-important second gas? No. So he's unaware of what's coming down. He doesn't know about these two gas. He just knew that this one was on its way. So both of them are gearing up to a high gas count now. Both going up to 4 gas. Lair on its way out for IdrA, nearly finished up. Lair just starting for TLO now. So will we see Mutas? That seems quite likely. We see the Speedlings are managing to make it in for TLO, getting that scout off. Will they be able to make it up into the main? No is the correct answer to that. And as such, we still see the vision for TLO. He doesn't know about these 2 gas, which he can probably assume is coming down, but IdrA going for the Spire Muta play is coming out for the Evil Genius's player. Is TLO going to respond? Well, he's getting Burrow out. So that in itself is quite interesting. He's going for the double evolution chamber now, which is not indicative of a Muta style play, but we'll wait to see. It's much more likely now from TLO to do Roach Hydra with that Burrow being utilised, but of course IdrA scouting with that Speedling sees the double evolution chamber coming down, and that in itself is quite a big giveaway because you can't afford. Why would you get double upgrades on the ground if you're going for a Spire? It really is that simple in terms of thinking. TLO taking his 3rd. We do also have IdrA taking his 3rd. The Spire is about half done at the moment for the Blue Zerg player. Meanwhile, TLO, he hasn't revealed what he's going to be going for, but IdrA just cleaning out the Speedlings that are defending or keeping a scout out for any possible expansions he may take. That's a good move. Meanwhile, TLO, he's getting up the 1-1 melee upgrades and also an awful lot of Speedlings. This could potentially be a lot of aggression. And when you're going Mutas or up against a player who's going Mutas early, this little aggressive poke can be very strong, but the Speedlings do spot it from the watchtower. The Banelings are coming down for IdrA. This 3rd base, though, is potentially going to take a bit of damage. The Speedlings trying to do as much as they can. Banelings are coming in, though, but there goes down the Burrow. And Burrows are, of course, great fun, and IdrA hasn't got an Overseer around. He is morphing one now, but of course these Banelings can just come and wander over there. And are they going to just wait? Yes, they are. Oh, they move out. Don't move out. Just leave them over there. Just wait patiently for the Zerglings to unburrow. Meanwhile, the aggression in the center is just getting forced back. TLO having to really think what's my strategy going to be, because he's got a Spire on its way out, but he's committed quite a bit, and those, unfortunately I missed those Zerglings die, but both players have now managed to secure their 3rd bases for the time being. But IdrA has his Mutas out already. He's got 5, which may not seem like much, but when TLO's Spire is still a good 20 seconds away from completion, that means that IdrA's got free control of the air. He's going to have more units out. The Spore Crawlers are on their way, but there's a lot of Overlords out on the field. TLO's supply block now at 70 of 70. That's going to be frustrating for him, but he does have a more sizable force on the ground with those 39 Lings against just 18, but the 4 Banelings are going to be absolutely critical. Will this hatchery survive? An awful lot of Speedlings here. The Banelings are on their way across. 1 detonates, 2 detonates, not massive hits, but now TLO is definitely winning this ground fight. The Mutas are coming back. They will be able to clean up all of these Lings, and the Queen even survives there, which is great news for IdrA. This Spore Crawler does not do bonus damage to biological, so this is on balance patch 12. So what can these Mutas get away with now? They've got to start poking and prodding around. TLO's getting his own out, but it's 12 against 2, and even with those 6 out, that's going to be 12v8, and as such, IdrA does have the advantage in terms of just sheer air numbers for the time being, and this is what ZvZ currently is coming down to, is who can get the most Mutas out and who can keep the most Mutas alive, and the winner of that fight tends to be the winner of the game. These 2 evolution chambers are taking some damage. Obviously TLO is going to have less gas available than IdrA just due to having got the 1-1 melee upgrades down the ground, but IdrA likewise, he's just getting down his +1 flyer carapace now, as the same time the TLO is getting his. The evolution chamber's dying, that's going to put an end to any more ground upgrades. The spine crawler also could potentially get focused down, but TLO doing the right thing, just pulling back and just saying, hey, I know you've got more Mutalisks than me. I don't want to engage this. If you want to come and get me over a Spore and a Queen, go for it, because that will probably tip this battle into my favour. But otherwise, take my evolution chamber. You can have it, IdrA. I'm feeling generous today. But now, a couple of Speedlings getting spotted. This map control gained by the additional mutant numbers is pretty huge. But Overlords dying on both sides for the time being. More units lost for TLO, obviously, just due to having more out. But these mutas for TLO do need to be a bit careful. The count, though, 22 to 18 in IdrA's favour. Is he going to go for it? He is. He gets the first volley off. That is always very important. And it looks like TLO is going to lose this fight. He's choosing to retreat back. But now, there is no Queen down at this third base. The Mutas are going to have to come back to defend it. Otherwise, we could see IdrA get quite a few drones. But another good engage for IdrA. Their TLO just running straight in. And that means that he's lost a couple more Mutas. The count now 22-17, that gas taken out, and all in all, IdrA, he's got his 4th base up. He has got his 5th and 6th gas up. His 6th and 7th will probably be coming up soon. That means his gas income is looking quite a lot better than that of his opponent, and that means the muta count will be looking a lot better than that of his opponent. But here we go, a big muta on muta fight. Upgrades at level at 01, and well, everything is just going on. This is pretty hard to see who's actually winning this. They are just clumped up. They both think they can win it at the moment though. Just saying, hey, I'm just going to go head to head with this. One of us will win this engagement. And TLO, GG's out, realizing that most of his mutas have unfortunately died. So, muta v muta battles are intense, they are tough, slightly slower paced than Ling Bling Wars, but we saw both of these players demonstrating just how potent this Mutalisk style can be. So thank you very much for watching everyone. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all tomorrow for yet another new cast. Bye for now.